And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Wow.
Are we on yet?
We're on.
We're on. What a great day.
You have a new look today, Tom.
Yeah, I'm a greaser.
A greaser.
A greaser, yeah.
Woo.
I'm a greaser. I'm proud to admit it. I'm a greaser today.
This might be hard to keep serious with you today.
It might be.
It's throwing me off a little bit.
Not that we're not serious, or that we're serious all the time.
Well, that's
anyway.
true. I guess it is no different.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey, I just want to let you know, I might need to take a smoke break here in the middle of this, okay? I got one ready to go.
Did you know it's a non-smoking campus?
Well, I wasn't told that at the front gate, so I don't know
Homer
why.
Honey Cakes did not tell you that?
Homer, I'm sorry, what was his name?
Homer Honey Cakes?
Oh, Honey Cakes. Yeah, I've heard about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have stopped you.
He's one of those nerdy guys, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Look who's entered our studio audience.
Oh, is that Homer Honey Cakes? Is that what you said?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right. Very good. Well, it's nice to meet you, Homer.
Somebody didn't stop this one at the gate. He is having smoking paraphernalia.
We actually have High Point PD waiting for you.
High Point PD is waiting for you.
That's all right. I
Okay.
got my T-Bird sitting out front back here. I'm going to be out of here quickly. Lickety-split here, so. All
Okay.
right. Well, a fun day today.
Yeah. Very fun.
Yeah.
Well, we started off with, I had several emails about what happened to the line that went above our driveway.
Oh.
You know, the AT&T line. Did AT&T ever come out and take care of the line over my driveway?
And the
And of
answer
course,
is
they didn't.
They did not.
They didn't. They're a utility company, so I didn't expect much different. But if you break the line, they'll come out, but they're not very proactive. So my husband, he just couldn't do it. He couldn't run the moving truck through it. He just couldn't do it. So he built a contraption to go over our driveway to lift up the line.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's what the picture was today. So that's how we took care of the AT&T line. And it currently still looks like that. So I'm not sure long-term what we're going to do, but for now, that's the temporary situation.
Wow.
So thank you for asking, and had to show you a picture of what we did. It never ends.
Now, Lisa, I understand that we have a new subscriber to our show. Is that correct?
We do an unexpected one.
Yes.
I was a little surprised today. I received a text from my husband, and he said, "So, I'm a hoarder?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, I watched the River Churns, and you called me a hoarder on there, that I keep a lot of things." And I said,
Well,
I said, "Well, you weren't supposed to watch that show."
if the shoe fits, Lisa, I mean.
Well, exactly. I mean, I can't help it.
But you didn't expect him to watch the show.
I did not expect him to watch it.
Yeah.
But he hears me talk about it, and he tuned in, and now he's a permanent subscriber.
Permanent subscriber. And that's
So-
our first one, right?
It probably is. So, yeah, that was a little surprise today, but sorry about that. I didn't mean anything by it.
If he watches this show, he won't watch any more at this point. Although he might watch every one of them to see what
Well,
you
he
say
might now,
about
because he
it.
never knows what I might say. So that's true. Whew.
You'll get comments about, why did you show our AT&T line at the show today?
That's true. Very true.
All right, so we always start
Okay.
out with a trivia question.
So the question today is from John Hoyt, and the prize is a $25 gift card to Target. So that's always exciting.
Yes.
And we are missing Michelle today. She had an appointment to go to. So we have Brian, who's going to be the one answering the phone today.
All right, Brian. No,
so-
you mean Fred.
Fred, Brian, yep.
And you'll see why we say Fred
Yes.
a little later.
So I'm going to give you that number before we give the question, so everybody's ready. To call Brian, it's 336-389-4111. That's a nice, easy number. I like
Yeah.
that. I wish I had that one.
Yeah.
So it's 336-389-4111. So get your phones ready, because here comes the question.
Here it comes.
And, oh, one more thing. Don't leave us a message with the answer.
Yeah.
This is only a call-in one.
Right.
And it's just the first person that gets through
With the right
and
answer.
talks to the live person, yes. So Michelle's had some of that, and she just asked me to remind people that don't leave any messages. We don't check that line. It's just the first caller that gets through. So just keep trying calling to get a person.
And just to be extra clear, if the first person has the right answer, that's the end of it. If the first
Right.
person doesn't have it,
We'll keep taking the
then we'll
calls.
keep taking calls
Right.
until we get somebody who has the right
Yep.
answer at that
Yep.
point. So, okay.
Okay, the question is, which U.S. state has the longest width east to west? Which U.S. state has the longest width east to west? Wide.
And it's probably not Rhode Island.
It probably isn't. It probably isn't. So,
Probably not Rhode Island. So,
No, but this-
the
I think
phone
this
is
is-
ringing.
oh, well.
Fred is out the door. Fred
he
is
is
out the door.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, while we're waiting to see if we
Might have
have
been easier than I thought.
a winner there,
Okay.
do I get my smoke break now, or do I have to wait a little
That's
longer?
later. Honey Cakes is right here.
Okay. Yeah,
You don't need to be doing that in front of him.
He gets a drink break. Why can't I get a cigarette break?
He went to the creamery.
Yes, apparently he did. He didn't bring us anything either, I noticed.
He
Thank
sure
you very
didn't.
much there,
No, he sure
Mr.
didn't.
Honey Cakes.
Yep.
Okay, have the latest statistics from North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. And Lisa, they really screwed us up this time.
Did they?
They did. So on the state reporting for today, it looks like they did this yesterday. They fixed an apparent discrepancy in the testing data. So the completed tests from where we were on Tuesday actually has gone down from Tuesday to today. So a little bizarre
Okay.
in that the number is less. So, I think I mentioned at the Tuesday show we were at 2 million tests. Well, we're actually, according to them, because of some discrepancy with one of the lab companies, we're at 1,850,000. So what that does is it really does kind of mess up our percentage, but the percentage now seems to be a little bit more in line with what we keep hearing them say the percentage is. So maybe they finally got the data to start agreeing with their percentages. So 1,850,000 is the number of tests completed, 140,824 confirmed cases. That's about 4,000 cases more than what it was on Monday. Now remember, on Tuesday, I didn't have Tuesday's information. I was
Right.
reporting on Monday, so that was technically 3 days ago. This information is 3 days. So unfortunately, we've had 115 more deaths since Monday. But the good news is the hospitalizations continue to drop. It dropped another 41 as of today. So that's really good. So that's a positive sign, fortunately. The counties all went up, I guess, in kind of proportion to what you would think they would have. So there's not a whole lot to report there. And then when you get over into the congregate living settings, which is the residential care facilities and nursing homes, we have had, out of that 140,000, we have had 9,909 cases, positive cases, which is an increase of 544 over what we were on Monday. And then number of deaths total is 1,135, which again is right around that 50% mark. It's even a little bit less than 50% of the deaths in the state have come from nursing homes and residential care facilities. Unfortunately, the number of facilities that have had outbreaks did increase from Monday to today by 15. It's 292 altogether. So we're it's a little hard to say how well we did in the last 3 days because the number of completed tests that
been adjusted
changed.
now,
So
right.
it's hard to be able to kind of figure out what that exactly
Sure.
is. So we'll have to just wait until next week to kind of see how we're doing. But I'm hoping the news is still good as far as percentage goes. And as we mentioned on the show Tuesday, we're getting prepared for doing every other week testing with our staff on the nursing home side of our operation. And so there's a lot of work to be done to kind of get ready for that. So we're, us, as well as all the other nursing homes and retirement communities that have nursing homes like us and the state, are all gearing up for this now. And so we'll see how that goes. Okay, I think that's it from the coronavirus statistics.
On Tuesday, we talked a little bit about visitation update, that we are working on a plan to roll out for the future.
Right.
And it was more related to on-site visitation.
That's right.
How we could manage that.
And just to be clear, we're working on one for independent living.
Right.
And then we're also working on something that we're still waiting for the state to approve us for the healthcare side of the operation. So
Right.
it's two
So
different
two separate
things.
plans.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're going to be talking about the independent living side.
Right, yes. But just know, that plan is not in place yet. That's still a work-in-progress plan for on-site visitation. So I don't want anyone to run out of here and think visitation has started yet. It has not started yet with on-site, okay?
Right.
Just want to go through a couple things related to visitation. We still get questions about, what can I do? What can I do? Can I leave the property? Those kind of things. So we said several weeks ago, I think it was almost in the beginning of phase 2, that independent residents, if you have cars, you can drive, you can go outside of here. We weren't recommending going to restaurants or things like that, but if you wanted to go and visit with your family outside, you leave the property, maybe you're visiting on a patio or a driveway, wherever that is, maintaining your distance. We said things like that would be okay.
Right.
But that was a little disadvantage to folks that didn't drive.
Right.
So we've been kind of working through now with our gatehouse open, and we can manage things a little bit better through that. We are looking at starting tomorrow, so not yet today, but tomorrow. If you do not have a car and you're unable to leave campus on your own, a family member can come and pick you up.
Yes.
But there's some things that go with that.
Right.
If you live, let's first talk about if you live in the apartment building. They are going to pull up out front. That's typically going to be the spot that you'd be picked up, just like when you get picked up for doctor appointments.
Front desk.
Yep. Now for Glen Eagles, just like doctor appointments, we do pick them up at the Glen Eagles entrance. So we've always had 2 pickup areas here.
Right.
Your family member can pull up, but you will need to go outside and get in the car with them. They can't come inside to get you. So we still want to limit that outside exposure coming into our buildings at this point.
Right.
But they can come and pick you up. You just need to meet them out at their car. Let's say you're in a cottage and you don't drive. Your family member can pull up to your driveway. They need to wait in the car, and you come out to them and meet them at the car as well. So it's the same thing. We just don't want anybody coming in and out of residence right now.
Yeah.
So that's as of right now.
Right.
Yep.
And after you're in the vehicle, you need to leave the premises.
You
at that
do.
point.
There's no visiting in parking lots. Or driveways right now. It's truly visitation is off campus.
That's correct.
Yes. So you may wonder, what do I need to do to let us know that you have a family member coming to pick you up? We have 2 ways. You will email the gatehouse, which the email address, you don't have to remember this right now, we're going to put it up on CareMerge and on 1390, so you'll have this information. It's gatehouse@riverlanding.sr.org. So it's a very easy email, and like I said, we will publicize this. The second way, if you don't do email, you can call. Right now, we have to use our main line, so it's a 336-668-4900, and the extension is 4149. So if you get our automation, you can go ahead and type in that 4-digit number. If you get some live person at the front desk, you would give them that extension number, and they will transfer you. We are in the process of getting a direct line to the gatehouse. It just hasn't been set up yet, so that's still a work in progress. Once we get that direct line, we'll let you know that.
Right.
So the day that you have a visitor coming, go ahead and call or email to the gatehouse to let them know you have a family member coming to pick you up. So it's really pretty simple,
It is.
but it's pickups only. It's not to visit here on campus. So we hope that that gives folks that don't drive an opportunity to be able to go off campus. Your family member maybe is taking you to a doctor appointment, whatever it might be. That is fine to come and do that. Just give us a heads up so the gatehouse knows that they're coming. So I think that...
Yeah, and I think we just need to reemphasize that your family members cannot get out of their vehicles. They cannot come into the apartment, especially on the apartment side.
Right.
They cannot come into the apartment building at this point.
Exactly. They need to stay in their vehicles.
They have to stay in their vehicle. You get it at the front desk or at the Glen Eagles front entrance as well. And you need to be wearing your masks.
Right.
And, if you're visiting with your family member outside of here,
Right.
social distancing. Remember
It's
the three
same
W's,
thing. Right. None of that's changed. The 3 W's that we've been preaching about, it's the same thing. So when you're riding in a car with someone, you both need to have your mask on,
That's
to be
right.
honest. To protect each other, both people have to be
Yeah, it
wearing that
doesn't-
mask.
It's not as good when only one wears the
not.
mask. So your family
Right.
members, you need to tell your family members that they need to be wearing a mask.
Absolutely. Yep.
And Lisa, it's only a family member.
Correct.
It's not
Correct.
members.
It's not a whole car full.
Right,
It would be a family member.
yes.
Right. Absolutely. And that's just, once again, limiting exposure.
Limiting exposure, and
Right.
also, quite honestly, since we're going to screen and temp check those family members coming at the front, we don't want to be screening and temp checking 4 people in a vehicle to
Correct.
pick you up.
The time that would take to
That's
block up
too
that
much
line.
for us to be able to do.
Absolutely.
So please follow the rules when it comes to this.
Yeah, and when you're in a car, you're in a tighter space. You don't need any more folks in there than you need.
Right.
So,
That's right.
okay, now we're to an exciting part.
Yes.
Okay, Quarantine Week. It's been going amazingly well. Woohoo! Yes, and we have a couple examples today.
We do? You mean
Yes.
besides me being a greaser? What other examples could there be?
I don't know how they could beat it, but we have Fred and Wilma Flintstone today.
Oh, we should have had them as the trivia question. We didn't think about it. We
Didn't
could have
think
had them
about it.
come up here, and the first person that called and figured out who they were, we could have done a trivia
We
prize.
should have done that.
Remember that for the next quarantine week, okay? All right.
I'm
sounds
sure there
good.
will be more.
So turn around and face the camera. I'm sorry. Destiny, we know how much you love being in front of the camera, so... So the big question is, where are Pebbles and Bam Bam?
Pebbles and Bam Bam. Oh, Cindy could have been Pebbles.
Yeah, and Homer Honeycakes could have been Bam Bam.
Oh my gosh, we got to think about this next time.
We missed an opportunity, didn't we?
We sure did.
Missed an
We
opportunity.
sure did.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, well. Next time.
Next time.
But,
Yep.
kudos to Brian and Destiny and Cindy and the team. I think it's been a fun week.
It's been a fun week. It's been
Quarantine
great to see everyone's
Yeah.
outfits this week.
Yeah, so super.
And tomorrow, of course, is wear your River Landing shirt.
All right.
So that's a good way to end the week.
Now, that's not just a shirt. We want you to
No,
wear
it's not.
pants as well.
Correct.
Lisa, we need to be very careful about how we say things around here. and
That's
so-
true. Some people do take us literally. So shirt and pants,
Shirt
but
and
specifically
pants.
a River
Now, you won't
Landing
necessarily
shirt.
have River Landing pants, but that's okay.
Right,
River
right.
Landing shirt will do. And
Yep.
there's a lot of different variety of shirts out there for
There
us. right now.
is.
So that's the
Yes,
good
a lot of good
thing.
choices.
So we have something exciting to share
do.
about a new member to our family, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we have started a search because we're getting close to opening up the Wellness Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had always wanted to add a third person to the team of Whitney and Jill. And
Yes.
so we've been interviewing, and this week we had final interviews of 2 potential candidates, and we have hired an assistant,
a winner.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes.
want to share? I'll let you share who that is.
Her name is Courtney.
Courtney Bless is her name.
Yes.
That's right.
And her last name, like you said, is Bless,
Bless.
and it's a blessing to get her.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
So We were kind of teasing her about that her name is very fitting.
Yes.
She has been working at one of the Ys.
Yes.
So she already she was a wellness coach. I think
Yes.
that was technically her term there.
Yep.
And of course, with the Ys being closed, she's been kind of looking for a position since March, April timeframe. So very fortunate that just worked out, and her degree is kinesiology?
Recreation and sports management.
Recreational sports management.
And she has a minor in business administration. And the thing I liked that I thought was really cool about her was that she was a goalie for her soccer team
Yes.
at Southern Wesleyan University, which is where she went to school. So, as a matter of
Yes.
fact, she was a good one. I'm just looking at some of
She
the
had a lot of
awards that
awards.
she won, but she was female scholar athlete. She was NCAA scholar athlete. She was All-American nominee. So she must have been a good
She must have
goalie.
been.
That's all I got to say.
So we were thinking she'll be really, really good with the Olympics here.
Yeah,
She's
sure.
probably going to really get into that. I think there's a little competition in her.
Yes, I think there's a lot of competition in her.
So we're really looking forward to being able to work with her. And like Tom said, this is an addition to our team. This
Yeah.
is adding a third person to our wellness group.
So maybe what we can do is on a future show, we'll just have her come up real quick.
That'd be
and
great.
just get everybody a chance to kind of get a chance to see her and
Yep.
hear from her for a second or two. So that'd be
Be
kind of fun to
super.
be able to do that. So.
But a great lady. We
Yeah.
enjoyed meeting her and getting to know her a little bit.
And I think this is okay to say, but she has a relative that's working here. We found this
She
out when
does.
we were doing the second interview.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, let's have some fun with this, okay?
Okay.
So we're not going to tell you who that relative is, but we'll just say, I'll tell you what, we'll give you a hint. The relative works in the dining department, okay? We'll say that much.
Okay.
And it would be somebody that you would come into contact with. If you can figure out who Courtney Bless's...
Should we say if it's a sister or brother?
No, I don't think we ought to even say
Okay.
that. Let's
Okay,
not
it's
even-
one or
let's-
the other.
One or the other. So if you're the first person to get and leave a message on Lisa's phone as
Okay.
to who that person is, then we'll do a gift card for you too. What do you
Okay,
think? We'll
I
do
like
something
it.
fun with that. We'll do a gift card. That'd be kind of fun, don't you think?
Okay. Yeah,
So, okay, so do we have to give them your phone number?
I think we better. Okay. Just in case.
All right.
336-389-4106.
She had to think about it for a second. And I did.
Mine is different from everybody else's. I don't have my
Yeah,
extension in
your
mind.
outside line is different than your extension line.
I
So.
wasn't going to give him Brian's number, but I thought he probably gets enough calls.
So yeah, so Brian doesn't know. See, only
Brian
you and
doesn't
I
even know who it is.
You and I and Whitney are the only ones that know,
Okay,
I think.
okay.
So,
No, nobody knows?
Nobody knows.
Well, you know, this means you'll have to start talking to people. That's all I can say is ask, is Courtney Bless your sister?
yeah.
You'll have to start asking around. It's
So-
somebody in dining.
And so it could be in the clubhouse, it could be at the
Could be.
water's edge, it could be in the bistro, it could be
Or the
any of this.
creamery.
Or the creamery, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Actually,
So-
it could be the creamery. So,
Yep.
So yeah, so we'll do a gift card. First person that leaves the right
like it.
person, all right?
Okay.
Okay. All right, that'll be fun. We'll see
This
how
might
good-
take a couple weeks.
What's that? It might take a
It might take a couple weeks. So
I don't know. I have a feeling.
just keep checking around.
Yes.
We'll honor it as long as it takes.
Okay, Lisa, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
How about questions?
Okay. We have a couple questions today.
Okay.
The first three were all one person, but I broke them up because they get a little confusing.
Okay.
So what happens when I pull my emergency pull cord? So everybody has an emergency pull cord in their apartment or their cottage or townhome, whatever you have poles in your home. I've had people ask, does it call the police? Does it call the fire department?
Right.
It doesn't.
It calls Lisa Wade. Oh, no, that's not right. That's
No.
not the right answer.
No,
So-
it doesn't. It
Homer's
doesn't.
okay with that, though.
Homer would like that, but it doesn't. So when you pull your cord, you can use it for medical reasons, security reasons, whatever it might be. It's something emergent. So when you pull it, we respond with our security/EMTs or our nursing team. So it just depends whoever gets there first.
Right.
Because sometimes we come in two separate shifts like that. But it's our staff here that responds when you pull your cord. That does not call outside service.
Right.
So just want to clarify that. Let's say our team assesses the situation and we feel it's beyond our scope of practice. Then we would call an ambulance service or police or whoever you needed at that point, depending on what the situation is. But our team assesses first. That's what that emergency poll does.
That's correct.
Okay? So
Okay.
the next one's related to this. If River Landing calls the ambulance service for me, who pays the bill? It's a great question.
And what's the answer, Lisa?
You do. The residents pay the bill for the
Yeah.
ambulance.
Yeah,
By us calling the ambulance, that doesn't generate the charge. So when the ambulance comes, their ambulance has the decision to transport or not transport. So that's their call there. We don't tell them what to do. We just know it's beyond our scope is why we call them. So that's just important that we do that. So we wouldn't want something to be going on with you and we didn't know that, so we call even the further experts than what we are. So when they come in, they decide to transport you or not. So it is the responsibility of the resident to pay that bill. Now, a lot of times, your insurance will take care of that cost, especially if you're admitted to the hospital after they transport you. But I don't ever want to say it will always cover it.
Right.
Because it doesn't.
No, it
There's a
doesn't.
lot of times your insurance may or may not cover that service. So just always be aware of that you could get stuck with an ambulance charge. That could happen to any one of us, actually. The ambulance service is the one that codes that bill. They're the ones that send it off to Medicare or Humana or Blue Cross Blue Shield. So if you get a bill and you don't think you should have, you call the ambulance service. They're the ones that do the coding for it and decide whether or not it was a covered service.
Right.
So you want to give them a call if you've gotten a bill and you don't think it's right. So I think that was a very good question because that could happen at times.
Right.
And insurances now don't cover as much either as they did before. So that's why I don't want anybody to be surprised if that were to happen to you.
Right.
So it can happen.
Good question.
And then the last question that person had, this was all in one big question,
Wow.
which they've been
Yeah.
thinking about this.
That's a three-part question.
It was a hard one, yes. Can I refuse to go with an ambulance service? So let's say the ambulance comes here, they feel I need to go to the hospital, and they're saying, we're going to transport you. And this person is asking, do I still have the right to say refusal and say, I don't want to go. I don't think I'm sick enough, I'm just not going. Of course you have the right to refuse that. They can't make you get in that ambulance and go, but you'd be going against medical advice. So that's something just to make sure you're aware of that. And there may be a charge for that ambulance service even if you didn't go.
Right.
So that's something to always keep in mind. If that's what you were worried about, you could still get a charge for that visit of them coming out and you refusing. So just be aware of that. That was also a great question. Okay. Another one. Do I need to let someone know when I am bringing a contractor into River Landing? It's a great question, and answer is yes. You definitely need to let somebody know that. So you have to get prior approval from Cindy or Homer just to bring that person on property. And really, we're focusing on essential services at this point.
Right.
So if you have a question about what's essential and not essential, that's a Homer and Cindy question. They're fielding those kind of calls right now. Tom, if you're making some major improvements to your home,
Yeah, it needs
that's
to be,
also something that...
you need to put that in writing to me through an email or call me and tell
Correct.
me what you're planning on
Correct.
doing.
You don't want to do any changes to your home without getting
Yeah.
that permission from Tom on that.
Yeah, especially if it's permanent or structural changes. of anything.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So I think that was a good question for everybody.
Yep.
Okay, I think we've addressed the last one. Can I visit with a family member in the parking lot at River Landing?
No, not now.
No.
Not yet.
No, not at this point, so.
There may be a time in the future when we can
Sure,
do that, but
sure.
not right now.
But right now, no visits in the parking lot, please.
Right.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, a lot of questions today.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yep,
And we got birthdays today?
we do. So happy birthday today to Dallas Lane,
Ah, yes.
Colleen Grotsky,
Okay, Ms. Crosby.
and Ruth Ann Horner.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
There you
yep, great
go.
birthdays today.
Yeah.
Friday, we have, which is tomorrow, Tom?
Yes,
Friday.
thank you. Friday.
I talk about the days of the week like they're all far away from each other, but it's really tomorrow. Frank Sajevec and Nancy Shaver.
Okay.
Saturday, we have Kay Law, Janie Mitchell, Sarah Wilson, and Ron Finn.
Wow, Saturday's a popular day. That's
It is.
4.
And then Sunday, we have Leona Beck and Bert Wood.
Wow. That's a lot of birthdays.
A lot of birthdays.
Yeah.
Not many for staff through the weekend here. We only have one on Saturday, Sharon Johnson in nursing.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay.
Happy birthday to all of you. So do we have a trivia winner for today? I assume we do.
Oh, we do. Yep, let me make sure I read this right. It's a popular one that,
Uh-oh. Is it Fred Flintstone?
and I just got a correction from Brian.
Uh-oh.
One of the birthdays I said was not correct,
Uh-oh. Which one was not correct?
okay?
We need to fix this.
I have to fix this because we gave a happy birthday shout to Dallas Lane. It's not Dallas. It's Lane Dallas. I said it wrong, sorry.
I bet if he had $1 for every time that somebody reversed
I
his
bet.
name, he'd probably be a rich guy, that's for sure, so. I'm sorry, she would probably be a real rich woman.
Yep.
Well, we're messing this up big time, aren't we?
Oh my gosh. Next time we won't even acknowledge it because nobody
Because
probably caught
it's
it.
Sanders and Lane. It's
Yes.
Sanders and Lane, that's right.
Okay. Yep, lovely ladies, so we do want to correct that, Lane Dallas. Okay, the question today was from John Hoyt, and the prize is a $25 gift card. And the question was, which U.S. state has the longest width east to west? And the answer is Hawaii, 1,500 miles.
Wow.
So pretty cool on that.
That's an unfair question, isn't it? Because there's
Is
like
it?
water in between the islands, and so do you really get to count that? I mean, but you had a lot of angry phone calls
boy.
about that?
Okay. But this person apparently got it right, so, okay. The winner today, he's been a popular winner,
Yes.
Carrie
I was
Gustafson.
wondering if it was Carrie. I love it. That's great.
He didn't watch us on Tuesday, so I kind of got after him the other
Yeah.
day. I sent him an email yesterday and found out he didn't watch us Tuesday, and I told him to make sure he watches today.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
thank you for watching. Yep. And you won today, so it was a good thing.
Well, we know that at least one person's watching today.
That's right, at least one.
Actually, no, it must have been more, because Brian said he had a lot of complaints from people.
That's right. So multiple people
What was
were
the popular
watching.
guess outside of Hawaii? Alaska. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, well, very good.
Okay.
So, what's up for tomorrow, Lisa?
Tomorrow is Fun Friday. This is the surprise activity involving a resident.
Surprise
Or
activity.
residents. Two residents now. Boy, we're getting more of a surprise.
We are.
Woo!
Amazing.
Woo. So it should be pretty exciting. It's hysterical. So you don't want to miss it. 3 o'clock tomorrow, 1390, two residents, and it's a surprise. Or it's surprising two residents. I'm not sure which way we're going with it.
Well, we've been reversing a lot of things today,
Yeah.
so why not reverse that too?
You never know, but I don't think you want to miss it. So, next week, the River Churns will be on Tuesday and Thursday again.
Yeah.
And then we'll have other fun things planned next week, but I didn't get them on my sheet in time. So, it will be posted tomorrow on Care Merge. Thank you from the studio audience. Okay, Tom, we're down
All
to
right.
the fun part.
So, in an effort to throw back to the 50s, the golden
Yes.
age, right?
Yep.
I had a resident, and I won't name the resident because I don't want.
We better not,
I don't
just
want
in
her
case.
I don't want her to get barraged if people find these
No.
offensive.
You're right.
But
You're right.
we got sent some great blonde jokes, and so in a throwback to the 50s, we're going to do some blonde jokes.
I
today.
don't think she was a blonde either.
Well,
Was she?
I don't even want to give a hint at this point.
Yeah.
So before we start, though, we just want to say to anybody any of the ladies out there who are blondes, that we're sorry. Hopefully we're not going to offend you, but I have to admit there's some pretty funny ones in here. So let me just read. Well, there's a lot of them, but we'll read as many as we feel like we can stand here, I guess, at this point. So this one's called Disneyland. Two blondes were going to Disneyland. They were driving on the interstate when they saw the sign that said Disneyland left. They started crying and turned around and went home. You're not paying any attention. Homer, stop moving around, will you? Two blondes living in Oklahoma were sitting on a bench talking, and one blonde says to the other, "Which do you think is further away, Florida or the moon?" The other blonde turns and says, "Hello, can you see Florida?"
See, that's a good one.
A blonde pushes her BMW into a gas station. She tells the mechanic it died. After he works on it for a few minutes, it is idling smoothly. She said, "What's the story?" He replies, "Just crap in the carburetor." She asks, "How often do I have to do that?"
Oh, that's bad. That's like potty humor.
Oh, and we know
Cindy
why
doesn't
Cindy didn't
like
like that. So, police officer stops a blonde for speeding and asks her very nicely if he could see her license. She replies in a huff, "I wish you guys would get your act together. Just yesterday you take my license away, and now today you expect me to show it to you?"
Oh, that's a good one.
Let's see. I'll skip ahead here a little bit. A Russian, an American, and a blonde were talking one day. The Russian said, "We were the first in space." The American said, "We were the first on the moon." The blonde said, "So what? We're going to be the first on the sun." The Russian and the American looked at each other and shook their heads. "You can't land on the sun." And the Russian says, "You'll burn up." To which the blonde replied, "We're not stupid, you know. We're going at night."
That's good.
And then I think I'm going to skip to the last one here. Let me see if I got that. Where is it? Oh, well.
There was a lot of them.
Yeah, I know. There was a bunch of them. A girl was visiting her blonde friend who had acquired 2 new dogs and asked her what their names were. The blonde responded by saying that one was named Rolex and one was named Timex. Her friend said, "Who ever heard of someone naming dogs like that?" "Hello," answered the blonde. "They're watchdogs."
That's cute.
So, to the resident that sent these to me, thank you. I got a good laugh
Those were
out of
good.
these.
Yes.
These are cute. And
Yes.
we can hopefully excuse the fact that they're blonde jokes.
Yes.
At this point, so.
And we also received from several other people that we're going to work on over the next week
we,
or two.
We
so.
had a couple residents
Yep.
that sent us some really
Yep.
good stuff that we're
Yep.
going to
We
use
just couldn't get it all
next
in one
week,
day,
and maybe
so.
even a little bit of material for the week after.
Yep.
We got
Yep.
enough good
So
stuff.
good stuff.
So thank you for keep
Yeah,
sending that
keep
stuff
sending
to us.
it.
So, well, Lisa,
Okay.
the end of another show.
I know. It was a quick one today.
It was. We weren't an hour and a half like we usually
No,
are. We were only 40
exactly.
minutes today, so that's good.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that after the blonde jokes, we probably lost all of our audience
We
anyway,
might
so
have.
they're all
We
gone.
might have.
Well, we hope you have a great Thursday afternoon. We love you all very much, and we'll see you again next Tuesday, if not sooner.